Converting from radians to degrees or degrees to radians comes from the relationship between radians and degrees. So before we can actually talk about this, we need to know what is a radian. A radian is another way to measure an angle. So instead of degrees, you can measure it in radians. And radians comes from the number of times you can take the radius of a circle, right there, and put it around the circle. So if you take this length and kind of put it around the circle, let's say that's 1 radian, 1 radius, 2 radius, 3 radius, 4 of them, 5, 6, and a little bit more. It turns out that a radius goes around the circle 2 pi times, exactly 2 pi. So it goes around once. If it goes around half the circle, it would be pi times. So you'll notice there was just a little tiny bit left. If I were to divide this in half, it went around 3 and then just a little more. Turns out to be 0.1415 approximately. So 2 pi, if we relate that to the number of degrees in a circle, 2 pi is equal to 360 degrees. 2 pi radians is equal to 360 degrees. So if we wanted to convert between radians and degrees, all you have to do is think about a proportion. So the number of degrees, I'll do this in blue, the number of degrees over the whole circle, so 360, equals the number of radians over 2 pi. So you'll notice the whole circle is on the bottom and the part of the circle is on the top. So let's say we wanted to go from 60 degrees to radians. What we do is we would say, okay, 60 over 360 equals x over 2 pi. Okay, well 60 over 360 is going to be simplified as 1/6. And then to solve, we need to multiply by 2 pi, and you want to leave radians with pi as part of your answer. So in this case, we'll have, 2 pi times 1/6 would be, all right, 2 times 1/6 is 1/3. So pi times 1/3 is equal to pi over 3. So pi over 3 radians is equal to 60 degrees. Alrighty. Now let's say we wanted to go from radians to degrees. So let's say I want to know how many degrees are in pi over 5 radians. All right, so I'm going to do x over 360 equals, and then pi over 5 over 2 pi. Okay, well, pi over 5 divided by 2 pi, you can actually deal with this in your calculator. Just make sure this is in parentheses up top. So pi over 5 divided by 2 pi. You'll also want the bottom to be in parentheses. Gives you 1/10 or 0.1. Then to solve for x, we would multiply by 360. And you find out that there are exactly 36 degrees in pi over 5 radians. Radians are generally given to you with pi as part of your calculation. So if you're given, let's say, an angle measure in radians, you need to make sure your calculator is in the radian mode. So that is what that is for. It's for if you are expressing something in radians. That is basically it for converting between radians and degrees.